realized. Where was the camera? Top left. All right. All right. Welcome, Jeff. All right. Welcome, Jeff. Time to time to mildly inconvenience the flood. Yes, that is legit a fact. Time to mildly inconvenience them. Because what we're about to do to the flood in Halo 1 isn't really going to be anything, especially comparatively to what we'll probably technically have to do them two games from now, right? All the way up to Halo 3. We're going to just mildly slow them down and make them go, damn, what's that? Who is this annoying dude in the green armor? He keeps freaking slowing our infestation down. But did he stop us? No, but it doesn't matter. It's annoying. So, back to our previous conversation. Drop one flood. Hold on. Let me An Imperium Hive City? But we're talking like that's probably that world's probably doomed in an hour. You know how big an Imperium Hive City is? Also, let's exclude the fact here that guarantee that, especially if we're talking about a hive city, not a proper Imperial city, there's no Space Marines to fight this. That place is. We're talking, hey, welcome to free lunch. Like that would become a much larger ordeal than the Imperium wants to even have to deal with. Than they've ever had to have lived, than they've ever had in their entire existence. This would lead to such catastrophe later on too, not just the world alone, if they were to get a hold, which they would, I don't know why I said would. I don't know whether if is why I don't know why I said if. It's like when they get a hold of that hive city and it's fully invested, the amount of stupidity this is going to lead to in the galaxy will probably make the Imperium ignore probably maybe half of their major fights with anything else just to focus on this thing. Hell, they might get so scary that some things might end up working together just to have to deal with the flood. Yeah, and that's also another scary thing. The Space Marines are not immune to the infection. Now, I do think that there's a chance they could fight it off better than most. And of course, much like Chief, their suits are a lot better contained and lots, sturdier. So as long as they're smart and don't let them get inside the armor and have proper rebreathers and things like that to help keep the spores out, there's still a chance. I mean, the ones that fight Nurgle would probably have the best chance. Like ones who are specialized in fighting Nurgle, because Nurgle infections constantly pollute the air and poison the environment. So without rebreathers, they die. So it'd be the same concept. However, unlike Nurgle, the Flood don't have to just infect you by getting you sick. As long as one of these wily bastards can get a wound on you. So let's say, example, kind of what happened to I forgot his name again. Sarkhan, or what was his name? The salamander that's really famous. He lost an arm fighting the Necrons. Let's say one of these things takes a Space Marine's hand off or arm off. That's immediately an opening. You can guarantee after that incident occurs that next time you see that Space Marine, you are fighting a Flood Marine. And I don't even want to even fathom how stupid that would be. And what I mean by stupid is you might as well just be like, well, we're all dead. Time to give up, boys. Like, you've seen what they do to hunters. And how hunters look when they get infected. How big they are. How powerful they are. Imagine a Space Marine being one. You see, by the time Space Marines show up, Flood spear forms and tanks are gonna be on the field. And Flood Goliath. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, they'll be fighting the worst version of the Flood possible. And once again, as the Marines die off and get killed, their bodies are gonna get changed into Flood Marines. It's absolute catastrophic nightmare fuel. That's why I said there's a chance that if the Flood came to the Space Marine or Warhammer universe, that they turn the tide of the entire universe's dynamics. Mostly in the way of guarantee you this is going to create alliances that you never saw before. Hell, you might even see Chaos join together with the Imperium for a while, because the Chaos gods would be so scared of this thing that they'd be like, oh, hell no! I think realistically, ironically, the only one who wouldn't be truly affected by the Flood, or at least on a larger scale, would be Siege. Because Siege can make everything corporeal, and a lot of his Marines don't really have physical bodies. They're just made of glass and magic doodah. So it's like, he might one of the exempts to this rule, where I feel like he'd be the only real counter antithesis that you could see rising up as one of the major players against the Flood. Because corn demons are going to get infected. Nurgle, we're not even going to talk about that. There's a half a chance that Nurgle just gets devoured and turned into a giant key mine. It's like as if you think about how Nurgle works, Nurgle has some of the similar properties that the Flood already prefer. Biomass gathering, dead, gathering dead bodies and corpses to create new creatures and infections and monstrosities. This is what the Flood are masters of the universe of. So Nurgle would just make them stronger. Yeah, and the Tyranids would have happened to them what that thing I read, which I almost feel like sounded like the Flood. Well, not literally, but it almost sounded like a concept of them in 40k already. Because I do wonder if there's a concept of Flood already in 40k. Because I watched this short on Facebook that was talking about this planet that Hive Fleet Leviathan found. And they landed on it, and the planet was infecting them. It was taking their Tyranids and turning them into humanoid monstrosities and taking control of them, and they became a part of something else. So, and if you look at the planet and it looks all infected and nasty, it kind of resembled the forest on the ring in Halo 1 when you're in that little area. So my brain was like, it was so bad for the Tyranid that Hive Fleet Leviathan abandoned all of the Tyranid that got stuck on the planet and just GTFO'd. They were like, we're out of here, this ain't worth it, this is not, we can't do shit against this. And that says a lot because the term in the video at the end, it said the devourer of the devouring. Or the devourer of the devourer, meaning when you think you're the one, the consumer of the galaxy, and then you find something that consumes you. And that's essentially what... So I feel like that would be that'd be exactly what would happen. Also, the Flood intelligence would make them even worse than Nurgle. Remember, they're good at being dormant. That's true. That's why I think that Nurgle would just be dominated and taken over. I think essentially, one could argue that somehow, even though he's all the Chaos Gods are ethereal-like beings, like in that weird little video I posted about Doom Guy and Korn, I still think there'd be a potential chance because we know that the Flood can infect on a cellular level, maybe even beyond that. That there's a chance that if the Flood came in contact with Nurgle, they'd prioritize Nurgle and taking it over. Basically consuming Nurgle altogether and maybe even turning Nurgle into one of them and making a Nurgle keymine. Just because that, no offense to Nurgle, he may be good at like outlasting, but he ain't too smart. So I feel like he'd get outsmarted by the Flood instantaneously. The Flood's infection is far more powerful than he could ever dream of. Once again, much like the Xenos and the Tyranids themselves, the Flood are every type of hive mind and thing that infects and consumes dream. Like, this is what all these other creatures and hive mind type entities wish they could be like. The Flood is the apex. It is the top of the brass, top of the tier. Ain't nothing better than this thing. Like I said, the only thing that even comes close, biologically, in the way it consumes and grows, is the Thing from the movie The Thing. But even it has its limits, whereas the Flood do not. The Flood don't know what a roof is. That's what I always say. Is like in most entities like that's case, even when they're written out, they have a roof, right? They have they can't get beyond this level, blah 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 blah. Not the Flood. The Flood don't know what the word "bro, calm down" means. So. That's why they're scary. The primordial grave mine is coming back, by the way. The halos didn't kill him. And see, that's what I think what you would have. I think the primordial grave mine would 100% be completely born in the 40k universe fast. And I do mean fast. It would be reborn in probably a matter of weeks. Whereas in most universes, Halo and all that, it would probably take a couple years because it needs a certain amount of biomass, it needs access to certain things. Whereas here's just, that's another thing about 40k that makes it actually a death trap for everything against the Flood, is there's just too, it's the opposite, right? In the Halo universe, there's not a lot of food to go around. There's the Covenant, there's the Brutes or whatever their species is called, the Forsaken or whatever. And it's like, and then there's of course the humans, aka the what's left of the Forerunners. But in 40k, there is countless bodies, planets, species, and things like that for this thing to feed off of. This thing would be a catastrophic galactic problem within a year. And we're talking about galactic, maybe universal problem within a year. It's just too much food. So, alright, let's resume. That's if he allows himself to be known. Well, that's true too. I mean, once again, it's like you said, the other thing that makes the Flood scary, they're not mindless. It's not like the Xenomorphs or even the Tyranid in the way they behave, or even Nurgle. Nurgle tries to be stealthy, but there is a certain level of Nurgle that just doesn't care about stealth either. I mean, that's kind of nice thing anyways. Oh yeah, right. One of these better. 81. 88. Boop, boop. Oh no, so there's no Flood on the ship. Well, come on, we're still dealing with the Flood. How did you guys get on board my ship? How rude of you. Bro. I mean, look at that nastiness, man. This is just... Yeah! Bring it on! But seriously. Nasty breeze. I mean, you see it like just even that right there. I can't aim for some reason. Checkpoint. Tom. They're also very unrelentless. I need to wait. We're talking extremely. Like, look how many are already in this hallway. Like, they just keep coming. And as long as there's food to keep bringing up, getting it to stand back up on the ground, they'll just keep coming. Hey, look at this! It's like, sirs, calm down! How many more are there? How many guns are in the hallway? I'm gonna try to melee, now that I've gotten the hang of it, I'm gonna try to melee the little one. To make sure I can serve on ammo. Look at that! Checkpoint. Oh. I didn't like the sound of that. Oh, yeah, I know I did. I knew I didn't like the sound of that. Oh! Oh! What am I supposed to do here? God. Okay. That's fine. Hey, bro. That's one. I gotta like nitpick this because it's such a small corridor I can't get the melee trick. One hit and I'm dead. Got him. Okay. Gotta give the hunters credit since they are harder for them to infect. Alright. Got a grenade stack. Can't kill rock cannon, little grunts. Green. Oi, 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 oi. No, I can't aggress that way. Got over here. That's one. If I can get these drill rock cannons down, I can go in and get that elite. Got him, I think. Oh no, there's another one. Yeah, I think he blew himself up. Oh. Okay. Ah! Our cannons suck so much. Also, scary thing are not even Zeech is safe if the blood is allowed to develop their neurons. Yeah, because they're also technically psychic. They have telepathic abilities. So technically, they can go after you if given the right set of circumstances. Freaking real rod, get down. Eyes of Terror. You cheesy wet. Cheesy little kid. They're gonna send in more fuel rods.
Behold, an affront to the gods!
Okay, I think I got rid of the fuel rods by tossing my grenades in that door. So I know that's where they were gonna come out from. Yep. Ah! You'd think, with this being a UNSC ship, there'd be guns, what's it called, guns, scattered throughout this hallway. Seems like only the Flood had them for some reason. They devoured all the humans.
The bridge. We made it. Let's get to work. I need you to upload me into the control systems. The terminal is located next to the main view screen.
Really, no ammo? I may have to dip one of their guns in a minute. Alright. Here we go.
I leave home for a few days and look what happens. This won't take long. There. That should give us enough time to make it to a lifeboat and put some distance between ourselves and Halo before the detonation.
I'm afraid that's out of the question. Really?
Oh, hell.
Ridiculous. That you would imbue a warship's AI with such a wealth of knowledge. Weren't you worried it might be captured or destroyed?
He's in my data arrays. A local tap?
You can't imagine how exciting this is. To have a record of all our lost time. Human history is fascinating. Oh, how I will enjoy every moment of its categorization. To think you would destroy this installation, as well as this record. I am shocked. Almost too shocked for words.
He stopped the self-destruct sequence.
Why do you continue to fight us, Reclaimer? You cannot win. Give us the construct, and I will endeavor to make your death relatively painless.
At least I still have control over the comm channels.
Where is he?
I'm detecting taps throughout the ship. Sentinels, most likely. As for the monitor, he's in engineering. He must be trying to take the core offline. Even if I could get the countdown restarted, I don't know what to do.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine shields?
Not much. A well-placed grenade, perhaps. But why... Okay, I'm coming with you. Chief, Sentinels. Transfer me back to your suit. We need to go.
Sentinels! $73.7. Hey, Emma, where'd he come from? Alright.
Chief, we need to get to the engine room. That's the only other place where the monitor can override the self-destruct sequence. The ship was heavily damaged when it crashed. Head to the cryo chamber. We should be able to get to the engine room through there.
Roger. Engaging the flood. Ah! Frick you and learning how to shoot guns. You know how jealous the Mexican almost? They don't care. They can't shoot guns. I wish they could sometimes. Woo! Checkpoint achieved. Not again. Not again. I'm just gonna run. I ain't gonna bother with this. Let the flood have their fun. We'll blow up the ship, and then we won't have to worry about none of this. Yeah. Shield. 99%. Which way? Oh, this is closed off. I have to go this way. Oh! Oh, lovely room of death. Lovely. Ammo in the corner. Alright, I need to deal with the sentinels first. To be fair, they're gonna be more annoying. Reloading! Alright. Here? Wait, I thought this was the room I woke up in, but no. Hey. Where's the one again? Over there? Is there a door over here? Oh no, I see you. Hit! Aha! Found you. Stow to reload. Wait, now it wants me to go back this way? I is very confused. What? Wait. What? Okay. Now I'm completely turned around. Huh? So is this room just for a skull? Is there any way over here? No, these doors are locked. Frick. Frick-a-doop-a-doop. Frick-a-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop. Like what? Alright, yes, I generally confused now. Guess this way. Isn't this the way chat, help. It's gotta be this way then. This is a dead end. Chat, I'm blind. Was that glass back there broken? Am I just being super dumb? This don't make no damn sense. It's gotta be in there. Why would it have me go in there? There's no way it's just for a skull. I'm gonna assume that this glass up here has to be broken. Gotcha. I was being dumb. Frickin' god egg. That's what you get, Sentinels, for making me look like an idiot. Wow. I hear ammo. Oh shit. I may have to jump down. Damn it! I should have jumped down. Damn it. Say it again. I'm a relentless little king bastard. Jumping out. Go, 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 go. Ammo right there, but don't get it yet. That everybody's summer! Freaking whoa. Sure, for now. Just in case there's some hunters. Because why would it give me that? Unless there's gonna be something bad. Okay. Go. Damn it! Wow, Cortana is made for Forerunner ship data. You flying bow. Yeah. Isn't picking up their weapons and using them against them more effective at doing damage and taking shields down? Using whose weapon against what? If you're talking about like Covenant weapons? Oh no, hold on. We're gonna get jumped. Sounds like ammo around the corner. Okay. I want to try to avoid that ammo real quick. Whoa! Is that why it gave me a rocket? Alright, now I have a breathing room. Are you talking about, like, Covenant weapons? Technically, Covenant weapons are good at busting shields, but the thing is here's the catch-22 with the Flood. The Covenant weapons are good at busting shields, but they are terrible as shit at killing the Flood. Meaning, yes, you're gonna break the shield of said infected Covenant who's turned into a Flood who has a shield, but then it's gonna take half your clip to kill the Flood with after that. The best weapon to kill the Flood with, turns out, is actually ballistics. Human weapons. Because it's ripping apart the host's body into pieces and is actually shredding more and more biomaterial for them to have a what do you call it? A congealed mass to be able to move around with. You're better off shooting them with human weapons. They die way faster shooting at them with human weapons. The only time it becomes slightly annoying is if you're fighting one said a red elite Covenant whose shield is still active while the Flood is controlling its body. I got an overshield in there. Otherwise, you're definitely better off using the I see what looks like a hunter's body. Yep, I hear hunter sounds. Now I know why I gave you the rocket launcher. Which we need to deal with that first. Those hunters are scary! I like it's like a three-way battle going on in this hallway. Alright, well, we're out of rockets. He's dead, okay. Alright, there is some fuel rod cannons down the hallway, however. Grenade!
Under fire! Hurry!
Oh, still right. Damn it. Okay, hi. Holy, what the, Oh! The Flood were like, we're not out of this fight yet. we're the one winning this battle. Checkpoint done, okay. Fuel rods still in the hallway. I need to pick up something else in a second. Got him. Okay. Clear. There's some Flood stuck on the spawn point right here. See, I'm trying to find ways to go that aren't the main ways, in case we want to find another skull. Nothing in here, that was just a circle around. Just in case I need to cover. Magnum. Whoa. There's a lot of guns in here. Okay. That's bad, because you know that means this next room is gonna be nightmare. Oh, yep. Alright then. Time to pick this back up, because if it's giving me this again, that means there's gonna be some nasty things in this next room. So I'm going to take the rocket again. It's the quickest thing to deal with the heavy hitters. Light the fuse. Okay, there's that. What's over here? They lead the same place? Yeah. I'm going in from this side.
Engine room located. We're here.
I see his
Don't worry,
skilled
I have
self.
access to all of the reactor schematics and procedures. I'll walk you through it. First, we need to pull back the exhaust couplings. That will expose a shaft that leads to the primary fusion drive core.
Revision and repair protocols continuing. Please wait for update.
Oh shit. Well, that's inconvenient. I'm gonna go in here so I don't get blasted so I can take them out. See, I will say one thing the Covenant weapons are good at killing are these little sentinels. And their own weapons. They definitely fall under that rule of use their own weapons against them. Where's the door at? Ammo. Also, if you blow up the bodies, they can't pick them back up. That has ammo. Oh shit. That has a shotgun. Run. Shield. So the red ones have my guns right now. There's more ammo back there. Like fighting a three-ring circus out here. Alright, they're getting back up. I'm supposed to run. I can't tell if they're empty or not. Because they just keep sending in the little ones. Yeah, I think they're... The key would be destroy the bodies, don't let them get it back in them. Maybe not. things with a lot of them. Oh, maybe there are more coming. I have to pick up my other. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a break from whatever's happening. Time to leave. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna go. I gotta get up. Gotta go up, 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 up. Ammo. Go, 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 go. I'm just gonna assume we cannot. Whoa, that's a lot of signals. Oh, that's bad.
Surrender the construct to me, or I will
Frick you, Guilty.
applied.
If I pitch. Frick you.
Good. Step 1 complete. Now we should have a straight
Door,
shot.
door,
into
door,
the
door,
ship's
door, door, door,
four
door, door, door.
fusion We need a
Neutralize,
catalyst
rather.
explosion to destabilize the magnetic
I have a
containment
rocket.
field surrounding the fusion cells. Use an explosive. I recommend a grenade or rocket.
Oh,
Run
yeah,
out
I
of
brought
explosives
just
to
the
an armory station located
That's
near
why I
the
gave
engine
you the
room's
rocket.
entrance.
To get that grenade. Yeah, you watching, aren't you? Ammo.
Your behavior necessitates repair and revision.
Okay. Down. I went too far down. Right there. Hiya!
Analyzing. Fusion reactor number 1 destabilizing. Use explosives on the other 3 reactors to destroy their cores.
We're gonna go activate more reactors and take down a couple more of these. Ah, shit.
Surrender the construct to me, or I will be forced to take you offline permanently.
Damn it, myself. Shield, 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 shield. Oh no. Go in the door. Go in the door. I gotta take down the construct.
unacceptable, Reclaimer. You must surrender the construct.
Alright, loaded. Running for the other. Checkpoint. Okay. Need some more ammo. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, ammo. Come on in, sir. I need that.
Your behavior necessitates repair and revision.
Okay. Come on, Jill.
Are you perhaps ill?
Damn it, he's summoning more. I need to at least leave one. What if I maybe the correct direction to this room is? 'Cause I'm- Okay. That's all we're shooting. I'm not gonna shoot another one. I thought that was what's it called. I need to shoot this thing.
Keep it up. Only one more fusion reactor to go.
Yes, I got ammo. We're loaded, we're loaded. Oh. The blood is fighting. Here, find that fourth round. Hold on, let me read chat real quick. Also, I didn't put into words how scary flood neurophysics is. Think of the shadow of the warp fused with the xenomorph's goddess abilities, amplified by the force, and is able to bend the warp I'm able to get the Zeech. That's terrifying.
You must surrender the construct, so that we may return to our appointed task.
That's it. The engine's gone critical. Based on the current rate of decay, we should have 15 minutes to get off the ship.
Oh shit.
Cortana to Echo 419. Come in, Echo 419.
Roger, Cortana. I read you 5 by 5.
The Pillar of Autumn's engines are going critical, Hammer. Request immediate extraction. Approach the crash site and be
We're gonna
ready
get
to
up
pick
there.
us up at external access junction 4C as soon as you get my
I just
signal.
wanted to see where we had to go.
Affirmative. Echo
We're out.
419 going on station.
Time to go, 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 time to go. Watch out for the lasers!
Get this segment live off!
Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Woo! That was a close one. I don't want to use my overshield unless we have to in this last segment. I'm trying to save it. Ooh. Oh, yeah, time to drive. Ah! Oh! Oh no. No. Oh, I keep getting it close. What? Elevator? Oh.
Echo 419 to Cortana. Things are getting noisy down there. Everything okay?
Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core. The engines must have sustained more damage than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, all I got you, leaving out the fact that you fire rockets into the
Our RV point with Hammer is further towards the ship's bow than our current
Hitchhikers may
position.
be expecting
Use the warthog
convicts.
to reach the extraction point, or we'll never make it in time.
You got it! Are they all the same?
Activating final
Whoa.
countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the engines will
Oh,
detonate.
yeah, this
the
part.
explosion will
Oh,
generate a
shit.
temperature of almost 100 million
Coming
degrees.
through!
Feature when it blows.
Holy crap! This is like what happened, I forgot. This is like what happened in Halo 2. Go. Can't stop because we get hit by like a grenade, a wild grenade. We're gonna eat it. Oh, ow. Oh, shit. Go. Oh.
Cortana to Echo 419. 2 Covenant Banshees are approaching on your 6. Evade. Say again. Evade.
I see them.
Roger. I see
through that mess and rendezvous with Bowhammer. Don't stop for anything.
You got it. So far, I'm so good. I like how it gave me a better Warhog dress. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Just in case the Warhog was more damage. Oh, no, 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 no. Go, 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 go. Almost fell in the hole. Get out of the way. Stupid drunk. Ah.
Wait, stop. This is where Bowhammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here.
Cortana to Echo 419. Request extraction now. On the double.
Affirmative, Cortana. Bowhammer inbound. I'm hit! Mayday! Mayday! Airport structure is shot to hell!
Bowhammer!
Hold on!
Bowhammer's down.
Echo 419. She's gone. Calculating alternate escape route. Ship's inventory shows one longsword fighter is still docked in Launch Base 7. If we move now, we can make it.
I knew it was too easy. Continue running! Boom! Boom. Going below! Yeah! Oh, okay. Truck's still in good condition. It's not smoking yet. So keep it driving. Take the high route out, then the low route, then the high route, then the low route. I am an expert Warthog driver. Get out of the way. Stupid blood. Flipping over will kill us faster than anything else. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Trying to be patient but not whip it around too hard because if I do that, that's gonna happen. Damn it, damn it, damn it. And waste time. Go, 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 go. We are starting to spark a
Up
little
ahead.
bit.
We need to get across that gap. If you hit that ramp at top speed, we should be able to clear it.
Okay, Roger.
Jump!
Ah. Go, 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 go. Oh, it's getting foggy. Oh, no, oh, no. Woo! Excuse me. Coming through. One minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. We gotta hurry up. No, go, 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 go. Oh shit.
That's the ship. Move! We need to get aboard now.
Roger, Roger. Oh, okay, that worked. Run! I was kind of looking good there. Pretty sure that hunter knocked me over the wall. We need to go.
We're cutting it close.
There's only 30 seconds left. Take off for goodness sake. Whoa! Ah! Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah. Quick. Huh? Thank goodness for the captain's pistol. Let's go. Time to mildly inconvenience the flood!
Shut them down. We'll need them later.
Did anyone else make it?
Scanning. No. Just dust and echoes. We're all that's left.
At least so we think at the moment.
We did what we had to do. For Earth. An entire Covenant armada obliterated, and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo. It's finished.
Yeah, little do you know.
No. I think we're just getting started.
And then it always ends with him taking his helmet off, but you never see it. Woo! Executor class Superstar Destroyer versus a Covenant CSO Supercarrier. I actually don't know who'd win that. I mean, I would assume the Covenant Supercarrier still has quite a big advantage. I mean, Star Destroyers, even as big as the Executor is, don't really have shields. They have a reflector shield, which is not the same thing as a straight shield. I don't know. That'd be an interesting fight to see. Than that. Plus, they have better aim than, than anything aboard the Executor. So here's an interesting take. I want to let it sink in real quick that we beat that game. Beat the game, right? Everyone's saying that Halo campaign evolved is this, that. So remember that character we talked about? Unless there's a mission I'm missing, and there's something you can only see on Legendary, where's this so-called Lady Boss character that ruined the game? See, here, I'm going to get to the best of this in a minute, but I do think we've entered into an era where people are just making stuff up now in order to keep their clout. And we'll get to that in a minute. Unless something happens after this cutscene. After these credits. Where are these so-called things they said was in this game? Because the reviews were all about Campaign Evolved. Yet they were only hating on things, and here's my theory. People were, other than the one that tried to proclaim that the game was making it easy on the player by marking all the enemies when it only marks the last 4 to 5 enemies in a room, when you are able to wipe out all of the squads. Other than that, which was just cropped out, basically they edited the video down to make it look like that. Where's these so-called characters? Where's this so-called, they removed the story, and they removed the, from the Covenant, and them being religious aspect, and the original take on, the only thing that I saw in this, that anyone can make that I can say is semi-accurate, is that Cortana's model was changed, and so was Sergeant Johnson's, since he does kind of look a little bit like Steve Harvey now. But that's about literally the only thing I saw that was even remotely accurate. Here's what I think. I think all the people pretending that they've played this game, pretending they've played Halo, are just going off of all the other stuff that was bad about Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite, because those were bad. I'm not going to even front on that. Those were terrible. I think they were talking about characters from those games. Because where's this so-called characters that they said were in here? Now it's time for the hardest difficulty. No hit, no death run. No hit would be impossible, I'm pretty sure, at this game. Although, in Legendary, sometimes getting hit kills you anyway, so in a way you do have to not get hit to a certain extent. I think certain things you can afford to be hit by at least once, but not much more than that. CSO wins if it keeps its distance and uses its fighters, yeah. Yeah, because I do think the guns on the Star Wars Executor will be bigger and more heavier hitting. But I think Farseer is right. If it treats it like a rebel fight, and it uses its fighters to do most of the work, which, no offense to the TIE fighters and the what's it called, the better ones, I forget what they're called, TIE interceptors or whatever they're called. I'm pretty sure any of the Covenant elite pilots are going to be better than any of the Star Wars pilots. So it's like, but I think people were basically making stuff up for this game. Because I'm really upset about how many people ragged on this game for the sake of ragging it without playing the game themselves. This is why I'm starting to, even though some things are true about the video game industry with some of the more woke examples and terrible games that have been produced, like what happened to Marathon, what happened to some of the Dragon Quest, many other games. But I also think that there's a double-edged sword at play here for all of the bad ones. I think now we're starting to see all the people who were using those bad ones as their way to get content are now hating on things for the sake of hating it and are only going off of things they're seeing online instead of actually doing the research and actually playing the game themselves. Which really upsets me. And look at that. Alright, look at that. This is why the game's better. EVP and CEO of Microsoft Games, Asha Sharma. That's why this game was better and why it was back to its original self. Because Asha was present. And I kind of figured that because of everything I've heard about what Asha's doing with 343 Studios. And that most likely after they're done with the projects they already have, that she's deeply keeping an eye on. I do think, from what I've heard, that Halo's going to end up in another group's hands, a certain shooter's group hands. But we'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping that this game doesn't suffer because of some of the online media that's happening around it that has been falsified for this game specifically. That could hurt it because it hurts our potential to get any Halo 2 campaign involved. Halo 3 campaign involved. Halo Reach campaign involved. Because I think at least 1, 2, and 3 and Reach all deserve this kind of treatment. Well, 1 already has it, obviously. But 2, 3, and Reach deserve to have a game like this. Deserve to have basically a coming back to the front again situation. TIE fighters were old tech even in Star Wars universe. The Empire would have wiped the floor with the rebels if they didn't have plot armor. Luke would have never made it out that fighter run on Death Star. I do think that's part of it, but even with them being old tech, and technically you are right, the X-Wings are better fighters in general and were made later. I still think that it still comes down to pilot. There's still something to be said about a pilot, and this is versus even in real life. Sure, some jets do win the battle just because it's a better jet, but there is also something to be said that if a pilot knows what they're doing, they may die eventually or get shot down by something if there's more than one. But to say that, like, it's all the tech, that's kind of, eh. Now, of course, obviously, it's a sci-fi show, so there is a bit of the plot armor, like Damn King said as well, kind of happening. Even the TIE interceptors are inferior to Space Banshees. That's true. Plus, it's not just Banshees. There's the other one, right? What's the other Covenant Space Fighter. Is there? They have another one that's actually a lot scarier. I forget what they're called, but that's built specifically for space combat. Because ironically, they weren't really made, or at least mentioned in the universe until Halo 2. But just like kind of ironically, the better Y-Wings and X-Burst, what's it called, version of the X-Wing, wasn't born till later Star Wars is. But yeah, I highly recommend this game, and I really need, I need everyone to listen and say, look, you need to play this game. You need to get it if you're a Halo fan, especially on Sony, because the reason why I say on Sony is also, let's say the Halo 2 campaign evolve does happen. If the sales on PlayStation don't go up, we're not going to see it come to PlayStation again. Xbox won't even take the time to even bother with it, which I can't blame them for that if that happens. Because I think a lot of the sales and why they did, well, I said it before, 2 reasons behind this. I think a lot of the sales and why the sales are low on the PlayStation end are mostly because not only did it not get a lot of advertising in the store other than a banner during its release, and which quickly vanished after certain said games started having their banner up there almost immediately. Because, PlayStation wants a certain amount for advertising and all that. But that's one half of it. But I think the other half, once again, is it's all the bad media around this, press media around this, and YouTube media around this that's completely inaccurate. Like, I was half expecting the very end of us to get back to go somewhere, there be an extra part of this game. And that to be an extra portion of this game. And that there'd be that's when you see the character everyone was hating on. Where's all that? Where's all this supposed stuff that was in it? Once again, unless it shows something after this credits, which is why I'm waiting to see what happens, then I'm gonna call PS. But we're gonna wait. We're gonna give it its fair due and see what comes after the credits. Because I'm pretty sure Campaign Remix is just the game where you can have different enemies at different portions. So, for instance, with Remix Campaign, you can be fighting the Flood on stage 1, even though they're not supposed to be there. I don't know. Remember that ridiculous scene with 10-year-old Anakin flying an X-Wing for the first time? Well, no, that wasn't an X-Wing. That was a Naboo fighter. And absolutely destroying everything. The ship basically flew itself, LOL. I mean, he's a really good pilot, though, even at 10 years old. But that I'm gonna blame on plot armor a little bit. And also on the fact that Anakin is a Jedi. Even at 10 years old. Because when you're born with the midichlorian level that he has, I guarantee you most of his reflexes was the Force. Him just reacting and dodging and whoa! They're just shooting droids like they were tin cans. Although the droids were pretty stupid, to be fair. So, oh, the Seraph. That's what they're called. Seraph fighter, and those are scary. Yeah, Seraphs. That's what they're called. No Star Wars fighter can catch it. No modern fighter can catch it either. Yeah. The Seraphs, that's what they're called. The Covenant Seraph. The Seraph class. That thing is a monster. So it's like that's what would do in the Empire instantly. Because those things will destroy. Those things would body even the X-Wings. Like nothing in the Star Wars universe would match the Seraph. But that being said, though. But back to the Anakin thing, that was just... I blame it on the Force plot armor mixed with, oh, he's the chosen one! Chosen one! But But yeah, let's see what happens after this. Wee, exactly. It's like that whole scenario felt like that whole Kung Pao feeling. It's like chosen one. Just imagine Padme doing that instead. And see, for comparison, the TIE Defender can move up to 800 miles an hour. Seraph can go Mach 10. Yeah. Star Trek warped in? I mean, that'd probably be the only thing that could keep up with Covenant vehicles would be Star Trek tech. Especially the actual fighter classes that Star Trek has. You don't see them very often, to be fair. But or the what's it called from Voyager specifically as well, the one that Paris souped up. That thing. That was called. A lot of environmental artists. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Warvin the Defiant was a menace. That's true. I'll give you that. Covenant anti-grav technology is 100% in that cockpit. Oh, 100%. Wasn't the Delta Flyer for Voyager? That's what I'm saying, Delta Flyer, yeah. That's why I said Voyager, when Paris souped up the Delta Flyer. I guarantee you the Delta Flyer can take on a Sarah. But it's also heavily modified. And it's like, but even then, I will say some of the more higher, I don't remember the class name, but some of the higher class actual combat fleet-based fighters in Starfleet are super terrifying. Like, the Defiant's technically a destroyer, right? It's technically not a fighter. It may seem like it, but the thing is still big enough to house 100 or more crew. This is not on the bridge, but in the whole ship as itself. So technically it's a destroyer. But that's a fast-ass destroyer, and it has teeth. Lots and lots of teeth. Like, when Starfleet really wants to fight, they actually do become quite terrifying. It goes to show, even in Starfleet terms, when humans really when they re-embrace that war side of our brain, we make the other species feel like why the Cindy was afraid of us, even though they were lied to them about what happened in the timeline, and even though in one timeline we probably did blow them up. But it's like, there are certain portions of the human species, even in Starfleet case, when they're actually wanting to fight, that would definitely prove why the Cindy were exactly afraid of the human race. You see, he went so fast in the Delta Flyer, it turned him in. and Janeway into weird fish creatures and Handmaiden. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the Delta Flyer was something else, man. Fun fact, brute Seraphs are scarier than elite Seraphs because brute pack mentality keeps the squadron cohesive. Yeah, I do think the brutes are better fighter pilots. You wouldn't think so for how crazy ape-like they are, but it's because, like you said, it's a pack thing, like wolves almost, or a pack of gorillas. They are so cohesive with each other because they look at each other as a family or well, I forget what they call a family unit of gorillas, that they will stay airtight in their squadron maneuvers. So you are correct on that. Brutes are a whole nother thing. This is why I hope 2 and 3 do get a campaign evolved, and we do actually get to see it on PlayStation as well. There were actual Sentinels. I think that some of them have actual code names. Dr. Leo Kevin, Dr. Leo Kane. It's a dope name. I was gonna say Stark. Tony, why not be Caston Rose? Vincent Mendoza Johnson. These names are great sometimes. I do love reading sometimes credits, even when I saw Spider-Man. Some of the names that are in the credits just make me go, man, how did you get that name? What happened? Did your parents decided to name you that? Or did you give yourself that name? Peter King. Spencer Kopak. Elmer Lexman. Brian McCurry. Or Brandon. Matt Peasley. Alejandro Rodriguez. Brad Stockton. Jacob Foe. Dan, almost thought I said Dana. Dan White. Combat Evolved. Wow, it's showing even the Combat Evolved cast too. There's Brian Schultz. That's a classic name. Martin O'Donnell. Roger Wolfson. That was good. Pray they don't evolve in the brutes. Let's see. Imagine a pack of pissed off silverbacks looking for revenge. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what brutes essentially act like. They act like a pack of freaking silverbacks together. They're cohesive with each other. They have better combat tactics than I would say sometimes the elite do, even with each other, in communication, in the way they defend each other. So, like Farseer said, pray that these actual silverbacks on our planet, that we don't genetically modify them with human DNA one day and create actual Covenant brutes. Like we don't want that. We just don't. See what happens. Is it just going to take me to the menu, or is something going to happen? Oh yeah. Well, that was dope. Greenhorn. Should get the other one because I did it on Heroic, right? Yeah. Birth of a Spartan. Heroes never die. Because I did it all the way up to Heroic. I didn't get the Legendary one, obviously, because we didn't do Legendary. So, yeah. So, all this really does is it changes what happens in the story. And not the actual, like, story itself. It changes, like, placement of enemies and stuff. So, this mission changes. They always do. Remix evolves the combat even further by turning on a variety of discovered skulls to mix up your game experience in wild and wacky ways. Try your luck with a random roll or modify your skull selection to customize your experience. In addition, there is also visual modifiers that manifest unique aesthetics to paint the battlefield in whole new lights. In Remix mode, adaptation, reload, and armistice skulls are always turned on. So like I said, yeah. So I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt and see if anything would happen before I did that. So I'm going to say it now. The internet horseshitted on this game. It lied through its teeth, and it made shit up in order to get clicks and to get content. Because now there's literally a live stream that proves it. Even though I'm not a big channel, I'll admit that. It's like, which I wish I was in this case, because I do think Halo needs a bit of support in this case, because I think that people are just going off of previous experiences with what happened with 4, 5, and Infinite, which was bad, but this is not that. They stuck to all the original content, all the original cutscenes. They just changed some of the models' looks and stuff like that, kept the Covenant their religious-like self, and everything in it. There's nothing different about this game. And that so-called character they kept hating on doesn't even exist. That is probably, because I never got to play Infinite, I don't even know if I got to really play 5, must be from one of those. That character must be a character from Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. So if that is what this judgment is being based on, shame on them. Because they are making a judgment without even frickin' playing the game to see if it was as bad as what happened with 5 and Infinite and 4. 4 was the least terrible out of all 3 of those I just mentioned. Still wasn't great, but it was at least still reasonable. In comparison to the other 2, 5 and Infinite and all that. But this is the original Halo. This is what we all remember. This was exactly as everything I remembered. It was just as fun, with icing on the cake, just as difficult, and had even better with the Flood, because the Flood were a lot more prevalent. They made them a lot more scary. They had a better placement. They felt more like they did from 2. Still not as hard as they were in 2. 2 was... because that was a huge what happened there. I'm not going to spoil it if you've never played it. Because if it does ever happen, I want to do it on the channel if we ever do get that lucky. That 2 ends up getting a campaign involved. So we can do it. I don't want to spoil that. But I will say, like, the Flood were a lot more prevalent and scary in 2 even more than this. But I appreciate the upgrade to the Flood in this game and how they felt more threatened. They felt like they were truly a threat. They were overwhelming the Covenant at every turn, which is what they should be doing, just like they were doing with us. So, Chief almost died to single brutes in a fight. Brutes have Spartan trophies on their armor. Yep. They're known as to be Spartan killers. I mean, in that anime, that Halo anime, when you see that Spartan fighting that brute, I think she did kill him, but I think she died in the process, if I remember correctly. Like, she killed him, but she sustained such bad injuries, she ended up still dying and succumbing to those injuries. So, there are quite a few Spartans that are killed by brutes. Once again, literally sentient, massive silverbacks. Yeah, U.S. not a space marine. Let's see, 9 foot tall gorilla man, who are a mountain of muscles, fast as Fukin can rip us apart like paper. Yeah, we would be absolutely boned in that scenario. You miss Farseer's heresy art not praise for her soul. What would happen? You see, a silverback could squeeze us like toothpaste out of a tube. Also, gonna say it. Brutes are strong enough to potentially kill space marines. Oh! I mean, yeah, they are. She's not wrong. Brutes have ridiculous physical strength. Once again, think about the perspective of how strong real silverbacks are, right? Like you just said, they could squeeze us like a tube of toothpaste. Take that, and you give it not only sentient knowledge, make it humanoid like, you make it 9 foot frickin' tall standing on on 2 legs, and now it not only is it been maintained its strength, it's now got more muscular capacity on top of what it already had, and it can shoot guns and hit you with massive electrified power hammers. Like, brutes are scary creatures. This is why I was always terrified of them in Halo 2 and fighting them, and especially when they became more prominent as the time went on into Halo 3 as well. Brutes were nasty. I was saying brutes have the potential to kill space marines. You're talking heresy, dude. No, too. I'm sorry, but I need to report this to the Emperor or I'll end up floating skull. Or I'll end up a floating skull, too. Also, Korn would love them. If you could have brutes in the Space Marine universe of 40k, they'd 100%. Korn would try to recruit these creatures in this species J1. You're like, yes! Let's see, chieftains good. They're armored and decades of experience, yeah. But yeah, they're definitely. But nice, we beat both campaigns today. We beat the Federation campaign and Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War. We finished off the campaign in Halo campaign Evolved. It is an amazing game, deserves all the love, and people really need to support this game, seriously. Also, brutes will steal bolters. They love human weapons. Oh, I know. And you know they can shoot it. That's what makes it scarier. Is legit, they're probably the only other species who can just easily pick up a Space Marine bolter and actually use it to max efficiency. Just like a Space Marine. They would, and they'd be they'd be reverse engineering that shit. They'd be finding a way to make their own, and that'd be... Or have them made for them if they had any other, like, engineer type species with them. It'd be terrifying, man. But, alright. Man, I don't usually get done this early, so I'm trying to figure out what we can do now. I'm trying to think of what other things I can do tonight before it gets too late. Remember the Halo 2 brutes with rocket launchers? Yeah, I didn't. Don't remind me. I remember them quite well. Especially the first time I encountered one. Let's just say I had a deep fear of every time I saw those dudes at all. Every time I saw a brute after the first time I encountered one with a rocket launcher, that you was using one of the actual rocket launchers the UNSC uses. I always lived in fear that, is this dude gonna be carrying one of these? Is he gonna have his own rocket launcher and deck me with my own tactic? Because the tactic was to jump and shoot with the rocket launcher at the feet of most enemies during Halo 2. Because the rocket launcher was kind of the meta by Halo 2. If you knew how to use it. Better than a chieftain with a gravity hammer ready to send you to... Yeah, the gravity hammers you could see coming, and as long as you knew where to be when the gravity hammer hit, and knew when to jump, you could avoid the gravity hammer. The rocket, if that thing even hits near your feet, especially if you're playing on heroic, goodbye, sir. I hope you enjoyed your time on this planet. In this game, the only ones that had that were the Flood. The Floods were the only ones shooting the rockets at me. Now, the fuel rod cannons were scary that the grunts were using, but those won't one-shot you. If they get a direct hit, they technically can, but as far as the rockets are concerned, if they hit anywhere near you, well, I hope you enjoyed your mission. Time to restart. No one, even servitor, should witness the aftermath of Space Marines Taco Night. Exactly. I'll do my best to keep y'all from servitor toilet unblocking duty. That would be a nightmare, y'all. Especially like that one. There was actually it's funny because what Tam King mentions that in Space Marine 2, if you listen in the background when you're sitting on the ship before the mission, one of the servitors does get demoted to sewage duty. He says that since he's lost his eyes, it's like, because you have lost your eyes, your new duty reclamation has now been allocated to the lower levels of the ship on the sewers. Because he can't get crap in his eyes. He can't get shit in his eyes. Well, this is just terrible, man. Seeing a chieftain jumping at you in Halo 3 OD. Oh, yeah! That brought back terrible memories. Yeah, ODST. That's also a mention I need to mention as well because I haven't talked about it. That's another game that deserves some love. ODST is never talked about. It never gets any actual coverage. And that game was amazing. Sure, you weren't a Spartan, obviously, by the name. But the tactics and the way it made you play in ODST did really make it feel different. You had to know how to use your squad. You had to know how to use strategy. You weren't able to just kind of sit out there in the middle of the open fighting things until your shield started breaking down and then get back and recover your shield. You legitimately had to know how to use cover, or you were going to die. And then once again, the Nightmare Fuel Farseer just brought back in my memories. When, gosh forbid, when you see a brute jumping in the air towards you as in that game, you're like... what's it called, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey? Boo! That's the last thing you say before you die. I'd be more concerned with the smell. We need a modern Halo RTS game. Yeah, Halo Wars kind of got forgotten about as well. I do think we need a modern and newer Halo Wars as well. Boy, that'd be fun. Because Halo Wars was already pretty modernized and had some really good mechanics for it being a Dawn of War-like Halo game. But because it's older, even Halo Wars 2, because it's an older game, it still shows its age in a lot of its mechanics. So it would be nice to see that. Halo Wars 2, Tim, you need it on PlayStation. I do think we need it, but I think even 2 is getting up there in age at this point. That like at some point I feel like a Halo Wars 3 would be almost a necessity. Or do like they did with Halo here and do a Halo Wars remastered series where they redo it and modernize some of the real-time strategy elements and combat. Keep the story as it was, but redo some of the mapping and some of the combat like mechanics and make it more modernized and more like I don't want to say Total War because not everything needs to be like Total War, but something along the lines of either that or Call to Arms. Call to Arms would probably be a better example for that, like a Call to Arms style of Halo Wars. That'd be crazy. It plays similar to Dawn of War, yeah. That's why I used it, Dawn of War, as its example. It was a great game, though. Halo Wars 1 and 2 is fantastic. I do miss it. And if it ever comes to console, we're definitely going to play it again. Even if it's the same one, and it's not a remaster or anything, it just gets released on PlayStation, we're 100% playing it on the channel. 100%. Xbox just announced a backwards compact coming to PC for all old Xbox. Ah. Nice. Like I said, Xbox playing the game right now. I think Xbox is back on the rails. I think we need to stop hating on Xbox really, really hard now, because I think that they're back in the game. I think they've once again, because of Asha, their new leadership, feels like Xbox is back on the map, and they're making smart decisions again. This is why it pisses me off that so many people hated on this game, when this game, and you saw her name in the credits, was clearly directed in the direction of this game was decided by her. Now, to say that maybe this game originally was going to be maybe some slop, it had some slop in it maybe. That could be where some of this stuff is coming from too, for all I know. But once again, unless you're going to play the game itself and give it a try and see if it's true, we need to stop this judging the book before it's even out. Unless there's enough proof in the pudding to make that judgment call, which there wasn't. And I'm glad I didn't give into it either, because there was a moment when I was gonna buy this game that after seeing all the stuff that was coming out about it, that I thought about not getting it, because I was scared that they had ruined my favorite franchise more than they had already had with 4, 5, and Infinite. Back when they came out, and that they had went back and destroyed the original beginning of the game, because I was somewhat believed, but something in my heart told me, and also thanks to Sealy, you can thank Sealy for this one too, give a big shout out to him. Dude, I know you're probably like, wait, what? What? Because Sealy is the one that told me when we were in Power World to look, just try it. Don't listen to any of that right now. If you want to actually judge it and actually like make a review on it, play it, go into it like you're playing it like when you were young, and judge it like based on the premise of you're like you were when you were a kid and you first played Halo 1. And that's what I did. And I freaking loved it. I love this. This game, it was just as good as I remember. If I didn't have other games I need to be playing, I'd probably play more of this in the background and unlock Unlock some more skulls, do legendary. I do want to maybe do a legendary challenge at some point. I don't know when we'll have time for it because we got so much other stuff coming up on the schedule soon. Because we've got the co-op game with James, I think tomorrow. I think his day off is tomorrow. I have to check. It's either tomorrow or Tuesday, or he might have told me Wednesday. I can't remember. I have so much going on my plate right now that it's like a 3-ring circus. It's like I've got the PC thing in the back of my mind, trying to make sure I'm ready to try to organize that going forward. I've got me still trying to fix things on the nursing side of things. And this is going to be a dumb one, what I'm about to say, but this for me is just a personal thing. I'm still trying to get myself out there more, maybe possibly meet someone. And then I've got my church stuff I've got going where I'm trying to take over, and we're trying to get a new PC for our church, where I'm trying to take over for the stream for that, and help with that. And then I'm trying to think what else. There's so much. And I've got the program I'm trying to get into to start volunteering for that my friend Abdul/brother works for. Volunteers for and does, so I can get in the middle of that and start being involved more in that. So I can start maybe getting some doors open. Because my ultimate goal for that is to start trying to figure out who I can talk to, people I can get in contact with starting to create proper amputee-based stuff, kind of like how there is for my brother who I just spent my birthday with. How they have stuff for muscular dystrophy, muscular spinal atrophy, and things like that. They have stuff for that which is amazing. And I realized someone needs to start opening the door for the amputee side of things too. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like no one is doing this. So, if it has to be me, then whatever. If I just have to be the one to finally get the right person to do it, I'm fine with that too. I just want it to happen. And so, I'm trying to get involved with that kind of stuff to figure out where I need to go with that. And then video game wise, we've got the surprise coming at the end of this month. The co-op with James. Y'all, the Starship Troopers thing that y'all didn't, well, I know y'all didn't expect that one. I know Farseer knows what the end of the month thing is. So does Tam King, because he's the one that told me about it and reminded me of it and made me go, oh yeah, that is this month, huh? And I'm like, so that's why I decided to fully switch gears since we were already playing Halo. It kind of worked out perfectly because they're all shooters. So I was like, you know what? Okay, let's switch into shooter mode and go full shooter up in here. You can get all the shooter games on board, or all the ones that we're already doing, and the ones we got. Plus Doom. We're gonna go back this week and do the Doom Eternal Revelations DLC and continue where we left off in that. So, no, there are 3 extra missions that take place before Mission 1. Those are optional. Art not showed. Hold on, let me see. There are 3 extra missions that take place before Mission 1. Those are optional, as Art not showed, and I treat them as filler garbage. Wait, in what game? Halo Wars 2 is the best depiction of the Flood still, and the UNSC was shown their true potential in that game. Wait, which one are you talking about first here? Are you talking about in this game? Is that what's missing? I mean, for all we know, maybe Asha had it removed because, like you said, it added nothing to the story. Maybe she decided when they released it to the Sony side of things that they cut it a little bit to ensure that that was kind of, since it was pointless to begin with. Or maybe because if that is what that was, then that, because it got bad, because of the bad rap it gave it, maybe it was removed. Which, even if that's the case, still, I still stand by what I said. Because it's like, those little missions mean nothing to the game. They're just filler arc, like an anime with a filler. They don't really do too much for the story. So you just have to take them with a grain of salt. Those had the ODST everyone hated. Ah, okay. Okay. So that must have been the one that maybe even showed Halsey and all that, or all that other stuff people were talking about. And that one ODST everyone hated that people were ragging on. But I have to say, even that being said, now that we're beat the game and know it's not in here, I can spoil it. Spoilers warning, by the way, if you haven't already seen this part from the other version that Farseer just mentioned. That character dies anyways. So why do people bitch about these things? So I get that it was basically filler garbage and it didn't add anything to the story. It was just there kind of for fluff. But even from what I've seen of it, I didn't think it was that bad. I'm not saying it was good either, but it's not like it's game changing or it ruins the entire arc of the game or makes it changes somehow the Covenant's dynamic and blah 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 blah. It's like, it does none of that. It's just filler. Just like an anime, when you're in the Naruto fillers or the Bleach fillers, where they're just there for the sake of being there. Did they add a little bit? Sure, but they're not really important either. So that explains where that came from. Let's see, watch ATS announcing is dropping this month and throwing a wrench into all Oddnot's plans. That's a double-edged sword. I want that to happen, but I also don't want that to happen because it will be kind of inconvenient if that happens. But it's not going to stop me from getting it. So, yeah, that would definitely throw a little bit of a wrench into the works. But, to be fair, I treat simulators on my channel as, once again using the word filler, as a filler arc. We can play that without it affecting our main theme at all, because we can play it on days where we're just doing chill days, and we're not doing anything serious. That's kind of what the co-op game I'm going to be doing with James tomorrow, that he showed off to me, that I'm going to show off as well, that I want to do with him, is going to be kind of treated as. It's going to be kind of treated as a filler, kind of just something to do, something to have fun with on a more of an off day, and things like that. Kind of like how Power World was. Power World was kind of that, but I got so obsessed with Power World, though, that it became its own little thing in the background, which is why we kind of delayed finishing off Doom and only focused on Power World and Halo. And, of course, Arknight at the time. So ATS comes out the same day as Hawk Wasp Florida Marines 2. I like that title you just gave that. See, that's how I know you know what it is. That would be, you know when ATS drops, the whole channel is going to be nothing but ATS or not. I don't know. My obsession with the Hawk Wasps, I'm going to use Farseer's term for this to not spoil what's coming. You know my truck obsession is as powerful as my Hawk Wasp obsession. So that's a hard one. I have a feeling it's going to end up like Arknights and Power World ended up happening. It'll be one day will be trucks. One day will be Hawk Wasps trying to kill me. And trying to drag me back to their hive. gonna be called the ATS Guardian. I am trying to figure out. Well, it'll probably have the same sim name I tend to give a lot of my corporations when it comes to simulators. It's usually Guardian Incorporated or something like that, or Guardian Logistics. That's usually what I name my transport companies for simulators. Guardian Logistics, and it's like so 100%. That's most likely the title. Guardian Logistics. You did see the new? Oh yeah, no, I did. I've seen all the stuff they've added. The Raptor, the truck, the Ford truck, the Mustang, the Viper, all of it. We're definitely going to be showing that in that game as well. All the new cruise mode and the new vehicles you can do besides the trucks, especially the Viper. If y'all know, there's going to be a full episode of us just cruising around the states that are in the game already, just in that Viper. May or may not be if this was a thing. If I was able to be, I hate to say this, if I was able to be, there was a mechanic where the police would chase you, might end up turning it into a Midwest safety video in the middle of ATS. Just see the Viper being chased by like 20 police cars down the highway. Traffic violations be damned in the Viper. That's why I made that joke. Also, as a miniature shout out to my favorite police channel, police body cam channel. but yeah. Oh man, we're traveling down the I-9, the I-92, speeds 110. Oh man. Suspect was last spotted heading west. Oh man. Okay, new question. Replace the rebels at Hoth with the UNSC. How costly is that ground war for the Empire? They lost a lot of shit in that battle. Let's put it that way. I don't think I can put a number on that because with how versatile the UNSC actually is, they're probably going to hurt the Empire more than the Empire's going to hurt them in that battle. And remember, that was a retreating battle. So imagine that it's still the same. Let's not change any of the narrative, right? Imagine the UNSC are still abandoning Hoth and still retreating, and are defending the shield generator or blah, blah, blah. They're going to break so many AT-ATs, ATSTs, and everything else. Probably, hell, knowing the UNSC that might have a couple ground-based MAC cannons, they might take down a couple Star Destroyers. Before they retreat. Like, people forget, like, Star Wars flaunts a lot of power, but other than the Jedi, now don't get me wrong, it's got a cool universe and a vast personality beyond just the Jedi, but realistically, weapon-wise and strength-wise, Star Wars is actually not that strong. I've said this before, and I know all the Star Wars fans are going to be real pissed at me saying that, but it's sadly true. There's a lot of sci-fi universes that could body the Star Wars universe. The only thing that makes Star Wars truly scary is the Force and the fact that Vader exists and the Jedi and the Sith and da-da-da-da-da. You take that away, a lot of sci-fi universes can manhandle the Star Wars universe pretty heavily. I cannot give them a vulture. I want the ads to get it raised. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They probably have at least one or two vultures, and This is what I mean, like, you know how many AT-ATs, AT-STs, they're gonna have to deploy hundreds to break that line. It's not gonna be like maybe 10 to 20. They're gonna need hundreds. It's and then once again, the rocket launcher the UNSC uses, that little double barrel rocket launcher, I guarantee you even that thing, you hit the cockpit of even an at least 2 to 3 times with that, I guarantee you it's coming down. And it's like it's like I said, Halo universe is on steroids when it comes to that. Even basic human weaponry is hit so much harder and more. This is also why I consider Halo more realistic to what we are going to be like, I think, in real life. Because ballistics are, even though it gets shat on a lot in a lot of sci-fi, what people don't realize is ballistics is technically, other than in vacuums where explosives can't work because there's no oxygen, other than this example, just the bullets, right? We'll take rockets out of the example. Let's say even in space. The reason why the Mac cannon is such a terrifying weapon is because all it really is, and we've talked about this a billion times, is literally a railgun. It is a magnetized weapon. It is a giant tungsten round fired at literally bullshit speeds. And I mean that because it's going so fast, it's gonna puncture you like, it's gonna puncture you like a road runner running through a mountain. And it's like, and I mean that, like, it's gonna go through you like paper, ship or otherwise. This is why technically the UNSC were able to body the Covenant in some fights when they had big enough Mac cannons, depending on the vessel size, to be able to hit them with. And the UNSC got coil gun snipers that can probably shoot through the glass. Yeah, that's another thing, yeah. The snipers are coil gun based as well. So most likely you get one of these guys on a high enough ridge that can be at the level where the cockpit of the AT-AT is, or AT-AT. Guarantee you they can shoot through that window. Guarantee you. And it's like, the UNSC are like more realistic. What I feel like Luke took down one with his laces from his shoes. That's a good point too. I mean, technically Luke took down one by just grappling, hooking up and under it with a lightsaber a couple times. So it does show that, once again, the Star Wars technology is not as strong as people try to amp it up to be. This is why it's the most unrealistic, in my opinion. Not just because sci-fi, but just the way it's written and designed. Star Wars tech is the most unrealistic tech in all of sci-fi creation. Even more so than technically Star Trek, which Star Trek is more unbelievable level of technology, right? Even though we're getting to that point where it's less and less looking unbelievable, and more like, oh, this might actually be a thing. Because if you had a good enough power source, you'd have more likely to build a phaser rifle than you are a blaster from Star Wars. Because the concept of how blasters work and that they're firing heated projectiles, basically, or heated metal, I forget what it's considered. But if you look at the way its concept is built, in realistic terms, the gun would fucking explode. Because after a few rounds, or it would melt the barrel. After so many rounds, the gun would just destroy itself. So it's like, whereas if you have a condensed laser with just some refractors and some mirrors and a powerful enough battery or, power source, you can legit create real lasers. Now, they won't be seen in most cases, like we talked about before. Real lasers don't work like that, so it's like most of them are not visible. But once again, powerful enough source, laser can still burn through object. So it's really crazy to see how weird, unrealistic Star Wars truly is versus like even its other competitors. But this is why, out of everyone though, Halo is the closest. Most likely, as far as humans are concerned and us in real life, I foresee us being more like UNSC. More like what they're like in space, and also mixed with engineers. Like the engineers of the Alien universe. More like those two combined. Put a little bit of Wayland flavor in there, I would imagine, but that's still being said. Like I said, and the reason for this is, me and Tam King talked about this event, like the concept that we have of our species if we survive long enough. If it does truly turn out to be that we're the only ones sentient in the Milky Way galaxy, we could end up being the Forerunners. Let me put that in perspective. If you look at Halo's perspective of the Forerunners originally, before it got changed in Halo 4, that the humans were the original Forerunners, the creators, the engineers of the Sentinels and the constructs and the Halos. That's believable. And if you look at the atmosphere that is on Halo, think about the atmosphere and the way Halo looks when you're on its surface. Doesn't it look like Earth? That alone was also the original hint back in the day when you were first playing this game. If you look at just how this is designed, the whole thing just looks like a circular ring Earth. That should say something. So it's like, so in concept in real life, if there truly is no other sentient life in the Milky Way, I'm not saying in all universes, but I'm talking about in the Milky Way. Just our galaxy alone. Then there's a chance we could end up, if we don't all destroy ourselves before then, there's a chance we could end up turning into something similar to what the Forerunners were. And God forbid, knock on wood, I really gonna say that right now. Gosh forbid we find out there is something like the damn flood that exists in the Milky Way somewhere, and that's why there isn't any other sentient life forms out here. And why everyone's so quiet. Like we talked about the silent forest theory. Gosh forbid. Knock on wood. Because I don't want that to be a thing. That there is something like the flood out there. And we do end up having to build something even akin to what the Halos are. Knock on wood. Also, this assumes the AT-AT targeting systems aren't getting jammed. Their communications also not being jammed. Stormtrooper helmets also being fooked by UNSC ECMs. The Stormtrooper helmets were essentially blindfolds. That's why they been. Yeah, I don't think their helmets helped them anyways. But Farseer is right. You take their blind, with them being basically blindfolded with how terrible those helmets really were technologically, and then you take UNSC ECM warfare, basically communication warfare and jamming warfare, cyber warfare, basically. They're food. Which is something, once again, why the UNSC resembles us so hard. This is what we do in real life, too. I mean, how many hacks happen in a day, and when it comes to government v. government in real life, and what Tam King mentioned to me the other day, what might have been going on, because there has been a lot of attacks cyber-wise going on, sadly, against us and where I live in my country, here in the U.S. and all that. It's like we as a human species already are getting to that level of ECM insanity of hack this, jam that, get into this, breach that. So it's like, so you take a combined effort at that, because the UNSC is or the human race in Halo are basically a combined effort of all of humanity. This is post all of everything that's happened on Earth. They basically work as one species most of the time. That's a terrifying thought, because that means all of human species and all of our conglomerated brain and how crazy we are with ourselves and what we can do are now working as a single entity. This is why I think the UNSC did so well, even when they got ambushed by the Covenant. Even with the loss of reach in certain worlds and things that got attacked. That was mostly because we got caught with our pants down. If we hadn't have, I do think that the UNSC would have mounted such a return offense and would have learned so fast on how to fight the Covenant. But I think the Covenant would have been bodied backwards pretty fast. So, in lore, elites can physically see UNSC ships, while their systems could never, ever not ever noticed why most Pelican die in close range. Yeah, because they don't see them coming until they're too close. That's why Foehammer survived for so long. Think about what just happened to Foehammer at the end. Foehammer only died because she came to pick up Chief, and because she came into visual range that those Banshees were able to see her. So they chased her down and shot her down because they knew that if they could take 2 Banshees and jump a single Pelican, they'd have the advantage. Because they knew a single Pelican without support wouldn't be able to cover itself. As long as they could keep it in close range. Also, UNSC was still fighting a civil war while fighting the Covenant. These fleeing rebels told the Covenant where UNSC worlds were, thinking it'll save them. Yep, and then they got obliterated too for their reward. But you are right, there was a small civil war. I say small, but a medium-sized civil war going on even then. It was mostly space-based. It's kind of like Bahram versus the Federation in Zone of the Enders. Mars versus Earth kind of situations. But they earned getting eaten by brutes as a reward. Yeah, that's true. But you can imagine, though, that even though that sucked, and that's a terrible thing that happened, even though they kind of deserved it for trying to literally sabotage their own species' well-being just to win a civil war, you can imagine how quickly this turned the Civil War into a unified effort. Meaning that the Civil War was probably ended a certain amount of time after certain things probably occurred. Probably not at first, but I bet you after it got to a certain level of the rebels basically trying to sabotage the UNSC, but getting rewarded, like you said, being turned into a breakfast table snack for like brutes and stuff, probably made them go back to joining the rest of the conglomerated human species all in the one at some point. So. But it's crazy. Alright. I'm trying to think what we can do, chat. What do y'all think we should do? Should we jump on some Power World for a little bit? Should I go ahead and get that game and show it off now? The game that's gonna, not the one at the end of this month, it's not out yet. The game that I'm gonna be doing with James, just to show what we're gonna be doing. If you're interested in seeing that a little early, since we got done with everything. I don't really have time to jump into Doom. I thought about going to jump back into Doom for tonight, but I feel like since that needs a little bit more earlier start, because some of the missions can be a little long-winded, plus since I play on Ultra Violence, it can be a little cheeky sometimes in how the difficulty and how hard it can be. I am getting back into the groove of things and starting to get used to my reaction time again, but I'm still not fully there yet. So I know I'm gonna die still. They told where all the important worlds are that bone the UNSC war ever. Yeah. What y'all think, chat? What would y'all like me to jump on next for tonight since we still got a little bit of time? Let me check my calendar, make sure nothing's happening while we're doing this. What was that farce here? You wanted to see R9 play the new Phasmo map? I could do that. I have to re-download it real quick. I think. Or did I already re-download it? I think I already re-downloaded it, but I can double check. They told where Earth was. These are the type of people that should have been airlocked. Even though I know this isn't related to the actual lore, but I don't know if you know where I Love Bees is. If everyone remembers that event for Halo 2 and how they advertised Halo 2. Remember how they had that whole thing with that website, I Love Bees? And it was an AI that was, or an ex-Spartan or something like that, that got put into an AI, that got corrupted by a Covenant AI or something like that. And it ended up basically getting people, calling people on payphones, and it was a whole just event to advertise the game. It was genius, to be fair. Those were the days when good Bungie was still around, and they knew how to be a good gaming company and knew what the fans would enjoy, and came up with really crazy Kojima level ways to promote their story and advertise their game at the same time. It's like, what was funny is the way they did that is they basically had this code hidden in there that gave locations of payphones that would ring at certain times of day, and you could go and answer these payphones and talk. At first you'd be talking to an AI. And remember, this was way back then, before AI was even prevalent today. So it goes to show you how long we've had AI, even in real life. You would talk to an AI first, and then it would switch over to a paid actor, just some random paid actor to talk with you from a character from the game, and then by the end of it, it said, "Congratulations, you have betrayed your own kind because you just gave the Covenant the location to Earth." And the reason why this was the case is when you first start Halo 2, it's basically Earth under attack. So Tam King's choice? I mean, if y'all want to see Phasmo, I can try to load up a quick setup for Phasmo to show off the rework of the new map. We can hunt some ghosts. Because I know what Tam King's gonna choose if you leave it up to him. You already kind of said it. Because his only choice is either probably gonna be Phasmo or Power Worlds, one or the other, so yeah. So what do you think, Tam King? Farseer says she's leaving it up to you. I don't mind either, but I have been wanting to see the new Phasmo map. Okay, so we should probably do that then. We should probably do that. But, anyways. Well, my closing question: if you were a Spartan, and here separatist humans just gave away the only advantage the UNSC had, How fast were you abandoning them to die? Immediately. I mean, you all know me. I have a pretty hardcore personality when it comes to betrayal of other people and things like that. Especially when it causes harm to other people. Like with criminals and stuff, like why I watch a lot of body cam stuff. Immediately. Hell, I might commissar them myself, is the nicest way to put it. I might not just abandon, I might start going Rambo on that. And be like, you betrayed us? Time to die to face the traitor's faith, heretic. Faster than explosive diarrhea, exactly. I'm going Emperor levels crazy on that. But anyways. You see, I'm leaving them because what I would do would not compare to what the Covenant would do to them. That's true. I'll give you that. I guess it would depend. If I knew there was a bunch of brutes coming for them, yeah, I'd leave them. Because, like you said, in that case, oh yeah, what I'm gonna do is nothing compared to what these brutes are gonna do to you. I hope you like being the centerpiece of a table, dinner table. And so it's like, in that case, 100% I'm just gonna leave them to their fate. Or if I knew it was the flood for some reason. Also, even though I know that feeds the flood, which is kind of terrible for me too. Yeah, good luck. Just leave. But anyways, alright, I'm gonna end it here so we can move over to Phasmophobia pretty quickly. So, and I'm gonna start up the party so Tamkin can join. But yeah. At some point I want to talk about something going on in the Marvelverse as well since we're going on that geeky train. But I don't know if it's too soon because I don't want to talk about spoilers on stream until there's a certain level of time gone by, unless people explicitly want to hear it, and then I have to put up spoiler warnings if I'm going to do that. Because I have seen the new Spider-Man movie, and oh man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Everything I said, except for sadly my Venom thing that I wanted to be a thing, I was wrong about it being Harry. That's all I'll say. But who it turned out to be was so much more crazy. Made my head spin. And it wasn't Mr. Negative. That's all I'll say as well. It wasn't Mr. Negative either. I'm not gonna say. Not right now. I'll leave it for the next episode when we do Phasmophobia if anyone wants to talk about it, because I know not everyone watches my Phasmophobia episodes, so there's less likely people are going to get spoiled as much as Halo. Like, a lot of people tend to watch Halo stuff, so I'm not going to say it in this one, just because I don't want to spoil it. I'll say the two things it wasn't. It was neither Harry or was it Mr. Negative. It was something I never saw coming. Just like, I feel like we're back to the Quicksilver meme. That you didn't see that coming. But that's about how I felt. But it also made perfect sense. And it confirmed something with me with the Doomsday trailer. And that's where I will leave that. Because that's not spoiling anything. Me and Tam King were right. They've cut things out of the Doomsday trailer. That's all I'll say. And it's not Doom either. It's not Doom himself that was in that cutscene either. In that little trailer. It's not him either. But something that happens at the end, which I won't say what it was either, confirms there's probably characters that have been cut out for spoiling reasons. That's where I will leave that. But you know who it is? Oh yeah, did you hear what's popping up? And there's been 6 deaths so far. I have not heard about that. You'll have to let me know what it is in chat, Jam King, and what it's pertaining to. Also, James, I'll say this. This isn't a spoiler. James is going to be happy about Hulk. Very happy. All the Hulk fans are going to be very happy when you see this movie. That's all I'm going to say. Because I think people were pissed about Smart Hulk being around too long. Yeah, so that's where I leave it. If you want to see this movie, go see it. I recommend it highly. It's so good. It drags on a bit in the beginning. It is a long movie, by the way. It's about 3 hours long. But, it was like Lord of the Rings territory of length. But if you're a Hulk fan, and I know James will be happy about this, all I'll say is, he's back, baby. That's all I'll say. But anyways, I hope y'all all enjoyed watching this stream. And like I said, if you want to hear more about the Spider-Man stuff, since it's a smaller stream and you don't care about spoilers, I might talk about it during the Phasma stream. During the Phasmophobia stream, if anyone is curious. But only if you want to hear about it, because I'm not going to talk about it on this one. But I hope you all enjoyed watching the stream, and I hope everyone, and I hope everyone had fun watching the Halo series. Definitely pick up Halo Campaign Evolved. This game is super amazing and super worth the money. And even if it did have those prequel missions in it, I still wouldn't have counted it against it. Because once again, it's prequel stuff. It's just there for filler to add in a couple extra flavoring. And it's based on some of the stuff from the book, which is canon, because Bungie themselves said it was, even though someone tried to proclaim they said it wasn't, which is completely the opposite. I literally looked it up after I watched that, and that's my final thing on that. And it's like, so, and it's like, so this showing you that it was just an extra fluff, and the character everyone bitched about doesn't even last the whole missions anyways and ends up dying. So there's really no point to it and no reason to complain about it. And compared to all the other woke stuff we've had to deal with, is my final take on Halo and why that you should definitely play this game. Even if it had those in here, which it doesn't, so it's even better. But even if it did, compared to all the other woke craziness we've dealt with in all these other games, that would be nothing in comparison to everything else that's happened. And one could argue it's just, if you care about it, cool. If you don't care about it, it doesn't affect it at all. It's still cool. It's still Halo 1. It's still the same. The Covenant are still the same beyond the prequel mission and all this other So, recommended highly. Get Halo Campaign involved. Especially if you do want to skip the prequel missions, because they seem to have been removed. And also if you just want to play Halo 1 all over again like it used to be. Play Halo Campaign Evolved. Especially on PlayStation. So that way if Halo 2 Campaign Evolved happens, we can at least get that on PlayStation as well. So I can play it on PlayStation, since I have no way of playing it anywhere else yet. Now hopefully if they ever do make a Campaign Evolved 2, maybe I'll have my new PC built by then. We'll just play it on that. But we'll see what happens by then. But I hope y'all all had a good one. Until next time, Peace and love to everyone out there. And I will see you all here in a little bit for Phasmophobia. Till next time, everyone. Bye!